Good morning, children. How are you? Hope all of you are doing fine. Come on, our history chapter 2, New Kings and Kingdoms. This is the second video of this chapter. So, in this chapter video, we are going to learn about a closer look the Chola. From Orayur to Tanjavur, how did Cholas rise to power? There was a battle between Pallavas versus Vijayala. You know, Samantas under the rule of King Pallavas, you can say that landlord or local warrior, they will called Samantas who worked under the king. You know, Pallavas was the overlord till the period was 4th to 9th century was the rule of Pallavas. You can see in the map in picture pink color, it was the territory of Pallavas. You know, under Pallavas there were small Samantas known as Muthariyar. This Muthariyar Samant were in powers in river Kaveri in Tanjavur. Here they used to rule. Yet another Samant were belonged to another family, Chola dynasty. Their ruler name was Vijayalaya. Vijayalaya was the Samant of Pallavas. Vijayala dynasty attacked Muthariyar dynasty and Vijayala was victorious. Vijayala belonged to Chola dynasty. Vijayala covered the area of Urayur to Tanjavur. So Vijayala established Chola dynasty. So after that he built the town of Tanjavur and a temple of goddess Nishumbande there. The successor of Vijayala conquered neighboring regions and kingdoms. Who Pandavas and Pallavas territory were made part of kingdoms. You can see both of the map Pandya and Pallavas empire. Further expansion took place under Raja Raja I. He considered as the most powerful ruler of Chola. Raja Raja I became king in 985. He expanded control over most of the areas. He reorganized the administration of the empire. Now Rajendra I. Who was Rajendra I? Son of Raja Raja I. He also continued the policy of expansion and even raided the Ganga Valley, Sri Lanka and countries of Southeast Asia. He extended developing a navy from these expeditions. He also called as a Gangai Konda. Why he was called Gangai Konda? He was called Gangai Konda because he was given the title because he has expanded till the Ganga river. Understood? So thus two were the grandsons of Vijayalaya. This is a Chola dynasty map. Just you look over this map carefully. The trade routes, Chola territory and Chola influence. Agriculture and irrigation. Chola focused on the development of agriculture. See children, this is a map. In the map just you have to see in this textbook also, as well as there is a river Kaveri. This river Kaveri was very fertile and the reason for the agriculture, this was the development. Under Chola period, large scale cultivation was started. Forest was cleared for the purpose of cultivation, land was leveled, and embankments were made to prevent flooding, and canals were constructed to carry water to the fields. In many areas, two crops were grown in a year. To provide water to the crops, artificial arrangements were made. A variety of method were used. What type variety method they used? The wells were dug, tanks were constructed and collect rainwater, canals were used to supply water. So this whole work, requires planning, organization, and maintaining variety of issues. So rulers, both rulers and as well as people in village, took an active interest in this whole activity. The administration in empire. So how was the administration organized? Settlements of peasants known as ur became prosperous with the spread of irrigation agriculture. Groups of such village formed larger units called Nadu. Now the present day Tamil Nadu is where they kept the name of this Nadu Tamil, so it came as a Tamil Nadu. So the village council and the Nadu performed several administrative functions including dispensing justice and collecting taxes. Peasant of Vela caste exercised considerable control over the affairs of Nadu under the supervision of the central Chola governments. So the Chola kings gave some rich landowners title like Muvandavelan. What is Muvandavelan means? A Velan or peasant serving the three kings and Arya. Who are the Arya? They were chiefs, etc. So has the markers of respect and entrusted them with the important offices in the state of the. So we have seen the Brahmanas often receive land grant as a Brahmadeya. So as a result of a large number of Brahmana settlements emerged in the Kaveri Valley as in other parts of South India. Assembly of prominent Brahmana landlords. So this each Brahmadeya was looked after by an assembly or sabha of prominent Brahmana landlords. These assemblies worked very efficiently. Their decisions recorded in detail in inscriptions, often on the stone walls of temples. Associations of traders known as Nagarams also occasionally performed administrative functions in towns. Inscription provides us the details about the Sabha. Sabha has separate committee to look after irrigation works, garden, temples, etc. So you know who were members? How did they become members? All those who wish to become members of the Sabha should be owners of land from which land revenue is collected. They should have their own homes. They should be between 35 and 70 years of age. They should have knowledge of the Vedas. They should be well versed in administrative matters and honest. If anyone has been a member of any committee in the last 3 years, he cannot become a member of another committee. Anyone who has not submitted his account and those of his relatives cannot contest the election. So children, this was the conclusion of this chapter of chapter number 2, Kings and Kingdom. So inshallah, we'll meet in our next video class. So till then, goodbye. Have a nice day. Thank you.